And to our top focus this morning, which will be the battle for the Sena legacy, the battle between the two factions, between the Uddhav faction as well as the Shinde faction. Remember, this of course comes after the EC has frozen the bow and arrow symbol for the both factions, saying that they will have to choose a new symbol ahead of the Andheri elections that are coming up in just some time. Remember, today it's going to be a very important day, given the fact that key meetings have also been called by the two factions. Shinde faction calling for a meet at 7 p.m. whereas Uddhav faction calling for a meet at 12 p.m. We'll go across to Alisha as well for more details, but as you can see, these are the meets, in fact, some of the key meetings that have been called by the two factions. Uddhav faction to decide on moving the Supreme Court is what we are given to understand. Shinde faction to decide on the next course of action. So it will be interesting to see the kind of developments that will take place today. Talking about what really is in store, what really could happen next, and what are the options before the Uddhav camp. We understand that the faction could move the Supreme Court as well, and that it is likely to oppose the interim order that has been passed by the election commission. On the other side, the Shinde faction is also going to be chairing a key meet at 7 p.m. today. So that is another aspect, and remains to be seen what comes out of it. Shinde has called for a meet at his residence at 7 p.m. We understand that Sandeep is also joining us for more details on that. Sandeep, if you could give us more details on what to expect, key meets that have been called by both the factions today.
Yes, both the factions have called an emergency meeting as Election Commission of India has frozen the party symbol of Shiv Sena. But it will be very much interesting to see what kind of moves does Eknath Shinde faction or Uddhav faction takes. What we've been told that Uddhav faction is going to go to Supreme Court. But what is more important is that whether the Supreme Court will interfere in this matter or not. Because remember, in the past also, the Uddhav faction had gone to Supreme Court in order to get a stay on the actions of Election Commission, wherein Supreme Court had earlier denied to give a stay on the actions of Election Commission. So it will be very much interesting to see what kind of move does the Uddhav faction takes. Even if it goes to Supreme Court, it will be very much crucial to see whether Supreme Court will rule over this issue or not.
Also, Sandeep, very briefly, if you can talk about what sources are suggesting us that there were fake documents, rubber stamps that were put on those documents that were submitted by the Uddhav camp to the EC.
Yes, a legal complaint has been filed in Nirmal Nagar police station by Eknath Shinde faction, stating that several documents which were in fact submitted on the name of Shiv Sena were fake, and in fact fake rubber stamp and signatures were taken on the documents to submit in Election Commission of India. And in fact, Nirmal Nagar police station has in fact seized several rubber stamp and documents, and also arrested few people in regards to this. So the investigation is still underway. It will be very much crucial to see what kind of things will be put up by Eknath Shinde in Election Commission of India.
Yes, also Sandeep, briefly, if you can talk to us about the Uddhav faction that is also likely to move the Supreme Court. We understand that the Uddhav faction is in most likelihood going to oppose the freezing of the Sena symbol. So anything that can be that we can expect in terms of the arguments that are likely to be presented by the Uddhav faction in the top court.
Yes, as far as the Uddhav faction is concerned, definitely they will be moving to Supreme Court. But the kind of arguments that they would be giving will be like that they belong to Shiv Sena. In fact, Shiv Sena, they have been, in fact, Uddhav Thackeray was the working president of Shiv Sena, in fact. So it will be very much crucial to see what kind of arguments that they give in the Supreme Court. But what more important out here is that whether the Supreme Court will interfere in the matter of Election Commission of India, because Election Commission of India is a unanimous body, a constitutional body. So it will be very much important to see what kind of decision or whether any kind of ruling has been given by Supreme Court or not.
Thank you for the moment. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates. So that's the big developing story that we will be tracking through the day. And let's quickly try and understand what are the options before Uddhav Thackeray camp as well as for Shinde. Now, remember, Uddhav faction have in fact called for a meet at 12 p.m. today. So it remains to be seen what really comes out of that key meet that will be taking place today. What we are given to understand is that the Uddhav faction is in all likelihood going to be moving the Supreme Court, where they will be opposing the move by the EC calling for freezing of the Sena symbol. Uddhav camp likely to oppose freezing of the party symbol is what we are given to understand, and also that interim order by the EC saying that neither the Uddhav faction nor the Sena faction can use the Sena symbol for now, and the very fact that they will have to choose a new symbol. Of course, this comes ahead of the Andheri bypolls, which are all set to take place in a few days. Let's understand the options that are in place for the Shinde camp. Now, remember, the Shinde camp have also called for a meet at 7 p.m. today. It remains to be seen what really is decided in this meet that has been called by Shinde camp, because remember, what we are given to understand is that it is going to be a jolt. It is a jolt of sorts for the Shinde camp as well, because in what we understand is that it will impact the bypolls. How much of the impact it's going to have on the bypolls coming up is going to be seen. So the strategy that the Shinde camp comes up with is also going to be very, very interesting. So Shinde to hold a key meet at Varsha Bungalow today at 7 p.m. And this meet, of course, comes just after that EC order saying that the symbol will have to be frozen for the time being. And closely tracking all the developments in this big story that we've been tracking, it's the battle for legacy. As you can see, hectic developments are expected to take place today as well. Very important day, as it remains to be seen what comes out of this key meet that will be taking place between of the two factions, the Shinde faction as well as the Uddhav faction. So closely tracking all the developments in this regard. What we are given to understand is that Uddhav faction is all likelihood going to be moving the Uddhav faction will in all likelihood be moving the Supreme Court and will be opposing the interim order of the EC. A quick roundup. We'll closely keep tracking all the updates on that. For now, let's take a look at